tell us whether you are one of the 20 people who receives one of these fixed penalty notices, and if you're not, are you expecting to secure one in the next few days and weeks?
Well, Pete, I think, I'm sure you'd know if I were, but I think that look, let me just say generally on this whole issue, I have, I think, been several times to the House to talk about this and to explain and to apologise and to set out the things that we were doing to change the way things run in Number 10, and we've done that. But what I also said repeatedly, and Mr. Betts, I hope you'll forgive me if I return to this theme. I've said repeatedly that I won't give a running commentary on an investigation that is underway, and I know that you will want, and people will be naturally curious about all sorts of things, and I totally understand that. But I just think it would be wrong of me to deviate from that.
Prime Minister, we're not expecting you to give a running commentary, quite obviously, but if you are served with one of them, you're pretty much toast, aren't you? I mean, no Prime Minister could possibly survive being found of criminality for the very rules that Prime Minister set. You'd be finished if you got one.
Well, with deepest respect to you, Pete, I don't in any way wish to minimise the importance of the issue and your point, but I just want to return to what I've said, and that is that that would come under the category of running commentary in my view.
Getting away from the running commentary, you can at least accept that there has been criminality committed. Apparently your spokespersons just contradicted the assertions made by the Justice Secretary, your deputy, this morning, that there has been criminality committed. You do accept that criminality, 20 fixed penalty notices have been issued, for goodness sake. There can't be any contradiction in doubt that criminality.
So I've been, I hope, very frank with the House about where I think we've gone wrong, and the things that I regret, that I apologise for. But there is an ongoing investigation, and I understand the point you're making, Pete. But I'm going to camp pretty firmly on my position.
I'm not saying anything
which is
Mr. Toller, answer any questions.
No, I understand that, and look, I understand why you have to ask it, and it's quite right that you do. But I've been very clear. I won't give running commentary on an ongoing investigation.
Can we maybe go over some of the things that you have said to us, which we do understand, which is a matter of record, and you can maybe help clarify some of them, because some of it I find very difficult to understand. Because first you said there was no rule breaking. That was right, yeah. Then you claimed you weren't aware of any of these parties. Then you said it was a work meeting. Then you said you were outraged by them. Then you said you were aware of these events, but they weren't against the rules. And finally, you admitted you were at these events, but you were so ignorant of the rules, you didn't realise you were breaking them. You do understand why the public has such difficulty with all this?
Yeah, of course, Pete. But I don't want to. And I understand why you're asking the questions, but I just want to repeat that there will come a point when I will be able to talk about the investigation and the conclusions of the investigation, and that is when the investigation has concluded. And I've no doubt at all that I will be back before this committee, back before the House of Commons, to talk about it. But at the moment, it's still going on.
And if it has been found that you did break the ministerial code, which, looking at all the things you've said and all the things that have transpired, it's almost pretty crystal clear that you did, that will mean a resignation issue for you.
With great respect, Pete, I think you're just going to have to hold your horses and wait until the conclusion of the investigation, when there will be a lot more clarity, and I will be back before this committee, and I've no doubt back before the body of the House of Commons, and I'll be only too happy to elucidate you further.
Do you realise how frustrated and disappointed the public will be with these responses from you today? They expect some sort of answers. I mean, just talk about your leadership in number 10. I mean, I was in rock and roll for 15 years. I mean, I could never even start to compete and keep up with activities number 10 under lockdown and the partying culture that you created. Who's responsible for all of this?
You see, that is, I hear you, Pete, but if I may say so, that that is a very good illustration. Your question is a very good illustration of why it is important that we should wait to the conclusion of the investigation.
I think you famously sang, talking on the rock and roll theme, that I will survive. Are you still going to survive? It's not looking good, is it?
If I just respectfully say,
we could maybe have a duet after this.
Yeah, we're always too only too happy to have a drink with my friends from the SNP. But look, this is not something I can say much more about right now.
You thought you'd got away with it, didn't you? You thought that this was going to be put aside and nobody would be interested. You've been a bit shocked in the course of the past 24 hours. And the optics last night of parading your MPs in front of the COVID bereaved to go and party the day that you received fixed penalty notices was surely dreadful optics.
Pete, there will be a time for me to talk to you at length. I mean, that's your view. You're entitled to your characterisation of events that you can have no wish to engage with you in dispute about how you choose to see things. That's not the way I see things. But where I think you and I are certainly in agreement is that it would be right for me to come back before this committee and when the investigation is concluded, and to set out what I think and to be properly interrogated about the findings of the investigators. But that has not happened yet. The thing isn't over, and any such discussion is, in my view, premature.
Right, we'll move on now to
best, yeah.
You did, I've done my best too, but there is literally not a lot more I can say.
Right. Okay, Catherine McKinnon.
Thank you, Chair. I've listened very carefully to this exchange in relation to the Downing Street lockdown parties. Lack of trust in government is raised regularly in parliamentary petitions. So, Prime Minister, how would you respond to 130,000 plus petitioners who are calling for lying in the Commons to be made a criminal offence?
I think that it's very important that you should be clear with the House of Commons, and I've tried to be as clear as I can about my understanding of events. I've been back repeatedly before the Commons to explain, to apologise for the things that I think we've got wrong, and I've no doubt that I'll be back again. But there's not a lot